analyzing characters whose fates were determined ahead of time. Title Trapped by Destiny, analyzing characters whose fates were determined ahead of time. You know the feeling of being trapped by a predetermined fate. It's a sense of inevitability that can be both captivating and suffocating. In literature and storytelling, this concept is often explored through characters whose fates are determined ahead of time. Today, we are going to delve into the world of these characters and examine what makes them so compelling. Let's start with the classic example of Macbeth from Shakespeare's play. Macbeth's fate is sealed from the moment he encounters the witch's prophecies. His descent into madness and tyranny is a direct result of his own hubris and the weight of his predetermined destiny. But what makes Macbeth's story so fascinating is the way it explores the human condition. We see a man who is both driven by his ambition and crippled by his own guilt. Another example is the character of Anakin Skywalker from the Star Wars saga. Anakin's fate is determined from the moment he's introduced as a young slave boy. His transformation into Darth Vader is a tragic tale of how a hero can fall to the dark side. But what's interesting is how Anakin's character serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of fear and the lure of power. In literature, the concept of predetermined fate is often explored through the use of foreshadowing. Authors will drop subtle hints throughout the story that suggest a character's fate is already sealed. This can create a sense of tension and foreboding, making the reader feel like they're watching a train wreck in slow motion. But what about characters who defy their predetermined fate? Take the example of Luke Skywalker from the same Star Wars saga. Luke's fate is determined from the moment he's introduced as a young farm boy, but he ultimately resists the pull of the dark side and becomes a hero. This raises interesting questions about the nature of free will and whether characters can truly change their fate. In conclusion, characters whose fates are determined ahead of time offer a unique perspective on the human condition. They allow us to explore themes of free will, guilt, and the consequences of our actions. Whether it's Macbeth's tragic descent or Anakin's fall to the dark side, these characters serve as cautionary tales about the dangers of fear and the lure of power.